Going to call this meeting to order for the budget hearing. Everyone but Brittany appears to be here. I need to approve the agenda for this special meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? Thank you. It was 6-0. And Dr. Stroh's going to present.
Just a couple of things to review the budget. You have a copy of Form 151 in front of you. We talked a little bit last board meeting about the budget, and we'll be publishing the public notice of vote. There we go. This is a new requirement with Senate Bill 7, and the reason we have to publish this is because of our bond referendum, our bond project. Our mill rate went up above the 1.6 threshold that is required. So we will publish this, and that's all it takes. It's just published in the newspaper, and if anybody has questions, they can certainly call and visit with me about that. So this is, okay, I'm going to go back to, yeah. Okay. So we talked a little bit about this last time. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about the difference between Senate Bill 7 and the old funding formula. And as I visited with Terry and I visited with Linda, our concern was that it appears that we have about a little over $5 million more in general fund than we ever had before. And in fact, we do. But that money all comes into the general fund and then has to be dispersed through different funds. And so rather than explain that many times or write about it, I made a very cheesy video. And so I'd like you to watch it. No laughing. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer the questions. It's 5 minutes long.
Hi, I'm Dr. Stroh, Superintendent of USD290 Ottawa. I wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you a little bit about school funding and the formula funding that has been part of our culture for the last 20 years, and the new block grant funding to possibly build a common understanding of what the difference is between the two of those. In Kansas, we have two ways of funding schools. We have state aid, which comes from the state of Kansas, and we have the local effort, which is our local taxes here in Ottawa. In the old days, the formula funding, we got state aid, and state aid went into the different funds, which included general fund, the LOB fund, or our supplemental general fund, capital outlay fund, special education fund, and our CAPERS fund, which is retirement. We also get state aid for our bond and interest. We have the same funds here in our block grant fund, but it's funded very differently. So you'll see the general fund, the LOB or supplemental general fund, capital outlay, special education, CAPERS, our retirement fund, and our bond and interest fund. So the difference is, in formula funding, we received state aid, and state aid went into general fund, and state aid came to us and went into the LOB fund. State aid came to us and went into capital outlay. State aid came to us and went directly into our special education fund. State aid came to us and went into our CAPERS fund and stayed there for about 15 minutes and then went right back to the state. So although that money is recorded in our journals and as part of our budget, that money stays with us for 15 minutes and goes straight back to Topeka. We also got money that came to us into our bond and interest fund. So you can see that when we recorded our budget, that's how it all laid out. This past year when we went to block grant funding, the state aid came to us a very different way. So, state aid for all of our funds goes right into our general fund. So rather than having the money split up and go into our LOB, our capital outlay, our special education and capers, and our bond and interest, all of the state aid is deposited into our general fund, making our general fund look huge. When in reality, it's actually less money for student services than it has been in the past. When we get this money in our general fund, then we transfer it into our LOB and into capital outlay and into special education and into capers, which goes right back and into our bond and interest fund. So in reality, we have the same line items that we have to fund, but our general fund looks huge. And that's an important distinction to make. The second part of this is our local taxes. Our local taxes used to go to general fund, to LOB, to capital outlay, and to bond and interest. Okay. Now our local taxes go to the LOB, capital outlay, and bond and interest. We no longer have our local effort go directly into our general fund. That money that we used to have goes to the state and then is divided among the districts. So that's a little bit about the difference between formula funding and block grant funding. Thank you.
That was very well done.
Thank you.
I was on the capital outlay. Some of they weren't real rectangles. They were more like they were just misshapen. Was there an intent there, or was that just?
It's just a smaller fund, and
Oh, I see.
I was running out of space, so.
Oh, I understand. Well done.
Thank you. So questions that you might have about the budget? You'll be asked in the regular meeting to approve this 2015-2016 budget. So, right.
Thank you, Dr. Stroh. So that, any questions? Yeah, that's right. This is a budget hearing. Are there any questions about the budget from the public? Okay, if not, then I guess we will adjourn the budget meeting and reconvene. Yes.
I'd move that we adjourn.
Second.
All right. Motion and second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. We will reconvene at 7 o'clock for the regular meeting.
I was thinking, you put it down.
That was thrilled. So anyhow, 11:45.
Okay, so 11.
Clock, so I would like to call the regular meeting to order. All 7 members are present, and we will begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
So did anybody do their homework? When was the pledge adopted?
I forgot.
I checked. I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I got the
I
Uzbekistan
was.
one.
It's a good thing I didn't go out and buy little flag stickers to give you as an award.
Yeah, I
for
know
this.
it. Yeah.
It was 1892.
Yeah.
That's what you told me before the meeting.
Yeah, that's what I.
So next time, your question is, when were the words "under God" added?
1952, wasn't it?
Hey, I think you're right.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Oh, sorry.
56.
No, you're not.
It's in the 58.
It's in the 50s.
Guess and check.
Come back with the correct date, and I might have a little flag.
Little
sticker
flag.
for
All
you.
right. Good deal.
I need a motion to approve the agenda, but what we are going to do, Stella is on her way, and so I would like to move the recognitions down after comments from the public. So that's a change that we need to make to the agenda.
I would move to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Oppose? Okay, thank you very much. We have guests tonight to talk about the resolution of the sales tax for the city of Ottawa. So, yeah, Kinley, I guess, is first.
More staff.
Hi, my name's Kinley Jorgensen, and this is Ava Kaler and Kate Ferguson. I'm going to be a senior at Ottawa High School. Ava and Kate attend Ottawa Middle School, and Ava is a 7th grader, and Kate is in the 6th grade. We are here today to ask you to support a resolution for the 1-cent sales tax.
Ottawa is a great place to live. The sales tax will help make sure we have good schools, good parks, and good jobs for our families. And when I'm career ready, the new businesses that have made Ottawa home will provide a good wage for me to live right here in Ottawa. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I believe that we have a resolution that we would like to.
We do, Madam President. Resolution number 40, whereas the City of Ottawa has proposed the renewal of a half-cent sales tax and the addition of a half-cent to the voters of the City of Ottawa, and whereas the USD290 Board of Education has seen the value and benefit to its taxpayers living in the City of Ottawa from the existing half-cent through property tax stabilization, consistent funding of necessary city services, and the measured and prudent extension of infrastructure. And whereas the USD290 Board of Education agrees with the City Commission that the additional half-cent is the most appropriate way to help develop the new industrial park, which will attract jobs, raise the standard of living, and contribute to the prosperity of all Franklin County citizens. And whereas the USD290 Board of Education is supportive of the City of Ottawa's efforts and recognizes that the proposed uses for the sales tax will help meet the ongoing needs of the city, its citizens, and the greater community. Now, therefore be it resolved by the USD290 Board of Education that Resolution number 40 hereby expresses support of the City of Ottawa's efforts and encourages the citizens of Ottawa and Franklin County to participate in the mail-in election closing September 1st, 2015, to support the propositions set out in the sales tax election benefiting all City of Ottawa citizens. Passed and approved this 10th day of August 2015.
And we shall do that.
Madam Chairman, I would make a motion that we approve the resolution as read.
Second.
Okay. What I would like to do is have a roll call vote, please. And if you would, start with Brian. A roll call vote on this, please.
It is a yes for me. I have seen firsthand the benefits that the city's current half-cent sales tax has done driving around this community. We've got streets that are improving yearly, and I think that the acquisition of the new industrial park will benefit greatly also from the increased half-cent sales tax. And I'm looking forward to the future of this great city.
Thank you. Brittany.
It's a yes for me as well. In general, I don't usually believe in increasing sales tax to generate revenue, as it's not always the most equitable form of taxation. However, with that said, I do not make decisions based on my general stance on things, and given the information that I have sought out on this and the unique circumstances at hand, after researching, the proposed sales tax is the best for the community, and in the end it is only 0.5% that it is actually going to increase. And I do believe that the economic growth generated from the sales tax increase will greatly benefit our community, and the improvements that will result from the sales tax increase will go hand in hand with what we are doing as a district for our community. And so I hope that others will support it, as I will, and the city very happily supported us, and I wish to do the same for them. So we're a team. So I vote yes.
All right, it's a yes for me also. It is an investment for the future of this community. I think it is an equitable way to spread the revenue to all the people that currently buy or purchase services or goods here, including people who don't live in our community. And so I think it's a good way to do similar to what we're doing with schools, and that is we're planting seeds for now for the future. And so yes, it's a vote, yes vote for me.
It's a yes vote for myself as well. I think if you look back 40 years ago, someone had the vision to put together the industrial park that is there now, and it is that forward thinking that really sets us up for the future, that the students that are in elementary school, middle school, perhaps high school, that when they graduate, they will have an opportunity to have a job that's a life-sustaining job here in Ottawa and not be forced to move out of the town that they do like. It is a very positive, forward-thinking way to grow our tax base, because it's always better to have more taxes come from more people, but at a lesser amount, and this is sowing the seeds for that future. So I agree very much.
It's a yes vote for me as well. The half-cent sales tax has accomplished a lot. We can see it in streets and sidewalks and playgrounds, and it's making Ottawa a better place to live, and it's very important that we continue that half-cent sales tax. The other half-cent that you are asking for is to grow Ottawa, and I see Ottawa right now where we are as just kind of a shining little example of what a city can be. We're going places, you know, and it's exciting that the school district and the city is working together to make this a good place for our students to stay here and raise their families here. So it's good for the city all around, and I do vote yes.
I vote yes. I support it. The current industrial park employs about 2,400 people. The half cent brings in about $1.1 million. It represents about 12 mills. If that doesn't pass, then that's a huge impact to local property tax owners. The other thing that we have to look at is on a sales tax, about 30%, I don't know what Ottawa technically is, but you can give in about 30% is paid by transient people stopping through Franklin County. So it helps that it's not all borne by the local people. So for that reason, I vote yes.
Well, no, I will not vote any different than anybody else. I also will vote yes, and it's the reason I'm voting yes is because I have the utmost confidence in John Cohen, Jeff Seymour. No, I do, John. Don't be humble. Richard Neinstadt, our city commissioners. I think these folks are good stewards of public funds. Ottawa has done a wonderful job of growing economically, growing culturally, taking care of parks and rec. I'm just so pleased that we're taking care of business, and I think this is an important first step. So I'll vote yes.
Okay. I do believe that was a 7-0 vote. Thank you very much, and good luck. I'd like to encourage everyone to mail in their ballots when they get them. And like they said, follow directions. Put your ballot in the prepaid envelope and mail it in. And if you have any questions, go down to the courthouse, and Janet would be very happy to help you with any questions that you have.
Is there also voting at the courthouse? I thought I saw that. You could.
Is there? I think you have to take your ballot with you.
Okay. Hand delivery.
That's correct. Yeah, your ballot. If you feel like you should have got a ballot and didn't, also go to the courthouse and talk to Janet Paddock, and they can track down what happened there. So.
Okay.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck. The consent agenda has been set out and is before you. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda. All in favor, raise your right hand, please. Okay, 7-0. Thank you. I do not believe we have any comments from the public, so now we have the honor of recognizing 2 USD290 teachers for fabulous achievement. So we have Mrs. Stella Tharp. Would you please stand? Thank you. She has been recognized as the Kansas Association of Career and Technical Education Teacher of the Year. And we have Mrs. Cherry Cohen, who has received the Carl Perkins Community Service Award for Career and Tech Ed. And we were going to ask you to bring your awards, but we forgot, so you could do show and tell.
And
They're very beautiful.
do you guys, either one of you want to say anything? Do you want to? You're more than welcome.
I think I would just, do I need to come up?
We can hear you.
I think one of the things that I appreciate and in talking to our counterparts is having administration, a superintendent, and a school board that supports career and tech ed, and also a community that supports career and tech ed, and we saw that by the passage of the bond issue.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Stella.
Very good.
Sherry, it's your last chance.
I guess the same kind of thing too, just thankful for the community that supports our kids. Part of my award application was our Empty Bowls project, that big community service project that we do, and it is the community and the staff and the administrators that allow us to do those kind of things and involve our kids in community service, and they learn so much from doing that, and we appreciate the support that we get from the board and the community.
Well, thank you for all you do, and congratulations on your recognition. Well deserved.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That's
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
All right.
All right, we have reports and presentations next. Dr. Stroh, bond project update.
You'll play the video again?
No video this time.
Okay.
Maybe when we get some building going on.
that'd be
You'll
good.
notice on the school board agenda work plan that I have outlined a board update for the first meeting of every month. So I reported on our bond project last meeting 2 weeks ago. So I don't have that much more to report on. It's a lot of work and it is great fun. I can't tell you how exciting it is. Only the Stroh children would tell you how boring it is. They have rules. So here are just some things that have happened in the last couple of weeks. The geotechnical studies will begin next week at the Eisenhower site and at the high school. The surveys have been completed, and if you drive around, you can see flags and so on everywhere. The digitization of the high school is complete. That was quite an interesting process. They have a depository called Informa, and I'm able to go into that and look at things and so on. There's not much in there yet, but eventually all of this information will be deposited there, and it's very exciting to see all of those things come into fruition. We'll have a sign this week that reads "The Future Home" of the new USD 290 Elementary School. Thank you, patrons. That should be up sometime this week. And with a big red apple, the 290 apple. We want to make sure that our symbol is out there. And we have programming worksheets that we're working on. We're on round 2 with the elementary. And so what happens with those, Shannon and I work on those and determine some of the spaces and then send it back to the architects, and they send a new drawing, and we look at the new drawing. And now that teachers are back, they'll be able to look at those new drawings and so on. So that's pretty exciting stuff. Every couple of days, we're getting more and more owners rep applicants, and it'll probably be a week or two before we begin interviews and so on. And then we have a place on our website that I keep updated. I'll update every couple of weeks the things that are newest with the bond project. And I'll probably just add, I won't take off and put on something new. I'll just keep adding so we can see the whole process in the end. On the website, we have the new elementary school floor plan and the high school footprint. So we have some things, and as we go along, we'll have pictures and so on. So you can see right there. Here's our updates. And eventually we'll have pictures and videos, and the videos won't be of me. The videos will be of the buildings. Not going to be drawing pictures of buildings. So you can kind of see what we've done so far, and this is very basic until we get further along. We're trying our best to keep everybody informed. Any questions that you might have about the bond project?
So we're getting classroom educators' input on...
Yes.
Good.
Yes. And as we go through this process, there are questionnaires that are specific to certain areas like PE, special education, and so on. And so teachers will be getting those in a few weeks at the elementary, and then it's down the road for the high school.
And input from maintenance folks and such?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
All the important stakeholders that know particular pieces of what we're doing, absolutely. And our architects are planning for a digital tour of some science areas and performing arts centers that they have built in Arkansas and so on. So it'll be probably in September that our high school people will be able to go on a virtual tour.
And will that be... as it progresses, will that type of information be available on our website also for the public, or?
We will certainly have that information. I don't know for sure that we can include the virtual tour.
Mm-hmm.
If we can, we certainly will post it.
Okay. I just think that'd be really neat.
That would be fun.
The input from the teachers, is it going to be here, pick one of these three options, which you prefer, or are you going to allow them actually to write in, because we might have some great ideas come in if they can step outside of pick three and actually write down what they want?
Thank you for that question. The way it works is DLR has, because we've selected a prototype, and the purpose of this school is to be timeless and to be a great school now for the teachers and staff that are there, and to be a great school in 10 years and 15 years and 20 years. And so if I'm a teacher and I like something in a particular place, doesn't mean that's where it should be 10 years from now or 15. So it's going to be a uniform building. And so what happens is DLR has questionnaires that they send out and get general information. And then they'll talk with Shannon, and she'll work with her staff to determine where things should be in general. And then that's where it will all be. For example, if they're the cabinetry, we're not going to put it on one wall in one room and a different wall in another room and so on. It'll all be uniform and so on. The floors will be the same in every room and so on. So those kinds of things will be determined on the whole with the questionnaire.
I was watching Channel 4 News tonight before I came here, in amongst spilling and things. But anyway, they had Tonganoxie on that, and they said they had a $23 million school. I thought, well, that's not Buckus. So whenever we get done, we need to call Channel 4 and tell them to come down here. Because
absolutely, yeah.
Like, so, and they said it's the largest elementary school in the state of Kansas, but I don't know if that's correct or not.
I think that's true. I think it's a building. It's a two-story building. It's over 100,000 square feet, and I believe that it's built for 1,200 kids. One elementary school. It's a two-story building.
And the first elementary upgrade they've had in 100 years.
Yeah. So they went big.
Well, yeah, go big or don't go back. But but anyway, we do need to call 4.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Yeah.
When we get there, the whole world's going to know.
While going through the planning process for the elementary school, can we make sure that traffic flow, not necessarily around the school, because I know that's covered, but like the parking lot for picking up children and dropping off children, please don't make that an afterthought. One of the most challenging things, and I hear it from all the schools, but at Eugene Field, it makes for a rough morning sometimes.
You know, that's one of the great things about DLR is they have experts from food service kitchens, warming kitchens, to full service kitchens, to landscaping and driveways and all of that. And in fact, this prototype gives us the opportunity to do some really great things for parking, for traffic flow, and so on. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Does this prototype still have the foods prepared at the high school and
Yes.
shipped over?
Yes, this will be a warming kitchen. Yeah. And I actually got a new prototype today with an upgrade from the last worksheet that we did. So we'll get that on there too. So, all right, very good. Thank you.
One thing that I don't want to interrupt you because that's a great presentation. I think it's great we're putting on the website. I think that's fabulous, whoever's doing that for the district. I think as a board, we kind of talked about last time about getting the public involved. And I've heard a lot of discussion in the last 2 weeks that, we haven't got, we were engaged with the public before the bond, but we haven't really engaged the public since the bond. And I think it would be helpful if we had a public meeting, invited DLR down, and just gave the public a great update like you're doing here tonight, show them the plans, get them enthused, show them why we're selecting 19th and Eisenhower. As you know, there's been at least one letter and other things. And I think the public, when I explain it, it makes sense in one sense word, but the other sense word, there's a lot of unanswered questions. And I just think it would be helpful if we got out early and then kind of followed back up and said, hey, in another 45 days, we'll have another meeting and another 45 days. And we just bring the public along with us, and we'll build a lot of trust and buy-in from the public. And yes, you may have people actually show up and say, well, why didn't you put it at Eugene Field? And, and that's a valid question, and I think we need to be able to answer why we didn't put it that. And you have people ask why we didn't put it right here. And I think that's a valid question. So I think if we got out ahead, had a meeting in a couple, 3 weeks, kind of did the same deal. Here's our site plan. Here's why it was selected 19th and Eisenhower. And just kind of did that, I think we'd have a lot of interested people show up. So I'll just throw that out there. And I don't know if we need a motion. If so, I'll just move. But if
No, that's not on the agenda.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a good idea.
So let me see if I have this clarified. So you want something like what I've just done and talked about the website. That's the kind of community meeting that you're talking about. For example, I'm asking because I've been asked to give presentations at a couple of different clubs, which this is exactly what I'll do. So your request is to do the same kind of thing and just invite the public.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and show an expanded floor plan, a site plan.
Okay.
You know what I mean, and people come and learn more if they have questions. Open up to Q&A. Okay. You know what I mean, and then as we get more details, say hey, in another 45, 60 days, whatever is appropriate, we'll have some more input.
Okay.
Also as we talked about the Performing Arts Center, as one who, as you well know, before the election, I had a lot of questions about Performing Arts Center, so I went and toured a couple. And I think as people learn about it, during the election, we had input, but now, we can turn that around and say we're getting a Performing Arts Center, and this is what it is. And as you roll out science stuff, that's exciting stuff.
It is.
And so let's let the people have the information firsthand. Let them come to meetings, touch, feel.
And I couldn't agree more. I think that it's important to make sure that people have the information in terms of making decisions. I think we need to depend on the experts to make the decisions, the classroom teachers, principals, and so on. So I would be reluctant to have big community meetings like we did with the bond before we went out for the bond, and we got a lot of input from the public, and they understood what we needed and had a lot of input at that point. And now that we're at the getting close to the building stage, I think that to keep it uniform and to keep costs down and to make sure that we have a timeless science center and a timeless elementary and so on, that we need to make sure that it's uniform and it's done by experts, certainly with the input of our own people and
Sure.
and of our site councils too.
Oh,
but I would
absolutely.
be happy to have a meeting and explain all of this. I'd be happy to do that.
So you're saying more informational thing. This is why we chose 19th and Eisenhower and,
Okay.
and that type of thing. Is that what you're saying?
Right,
Informational.
I'm not, I mean, the decision's been made, and I'm not
Right.
backtracking for that decision. But the other side of the coin is there's a lot of questions that are out there, and so I think if we, there's a reason we made the decision. That's
Right.
why the committee recommended it, why DLR is recommending it.
Right.
And so, it just helps that if people come and they touch and feel, and, I think it'll help kind of explain what we're doing, the process, get buy-in, and then as we do this again in 45, 6 days later, it just kind of builds on itself.
True.
And then the other thing is, these are the taxpayers that are paying for it.
Exactly.
And, they get excited about it. We
They
get
are,
excited
yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
And, and it's great stuff. I mean, there might be some questions up front that says, well, I don't understand. And to be quite honest, I think there are questions as we roll this out, like, are we going to bus? You heard the letter to the paper. I mean, there's some questions we have to answer, but I'm just saying, I think it's exciting news. We get out ahead of it. We share with the public. The other thing is we may actually learn a few things, but yeah, I definitely agree with you. I like the way you have said it is that, every classroom could be the same. That makes a lot of sense. And, whether the cabinetry's on one wall or the other, I certainly think that ought to be left up to the staff and experts and whatever. I mean, I think you guys are on the right track. I just.
Good. All right. Very good. Thank you.
Harold.
And just to let you know, I have been posting to the Time Is Now Facebook page and linking them back to the district's website, because that's the quickest way to get the new information. But I will be posting the floor plans this week when I get them copied over and stuff to try and.
Very good.
I want to send people back to you because you've got the best information, but that's such a great way to get to a lot of those people who do have a valid interest in it. So, and they seem very pleased, and the committee was very excited about that idea as well. So we can utilize that platform
Absolutely.
as well.
Thank you,
Great
Brittany.
job, Brittany.
Thank you, Brittany. And
I was going to just add to that is I think it's good because there's people want to know why. Why did you choose this site over that? I mean, you get grumblings out there, and if they understand the information, it takes away, oh, okay, I didn't realize that. It's just being as transparent as
That's
possible
right.
so they know exactly why we did it, because there's very good, valid reason for each and every decision.
Absolutely.
You're right.
absolutely
And
right.
those of
Very
us
good.
that were on the committee, we know the answers
Yeah.
to
Right.
that. But the rest
We don't know why everybody else
but the
doesn't
rest
have the
of the community doesn't. So
Correct.
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
yeah.
Very good. All
Okay,
right.
thank
you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Do we have any board reports? Have we been doing anything to report about?
Bill? Oh, wait.
No, I went to California for a wedding. No, that's not anything to do with the board.
That's B-O-R-E-D report.
Oh, yeah.
I
Have
guess
pictures.
I went to a KASB president training meeting last Thursday. It was very good. It was very good. Learned a lot, and so I was happy for the opportunity to be able to do that.
I went to Washington, D.C. a couple weeks ago, and that was wonderful. Young Elected Officials Conference.
Oh,
And
okay.
I learned a lot about all different facets of elected positions, but we did specifically do some school board stuff as well, and some great information that I hope to let absorb, look into a little further, and even bring back to this community.
Good,
So.
thank you.
And I got to see all the awesome sites, which was cool. So, great place.
Now, Linda, at that training, was that where you learned the right-hand move
That
you
is,
used earlier?
I demonstrated it.
Yeah, you did well. I just want to let you know, that's a good right hand you gave.
You are so welcome. And we will continue on with approving the, whatever it is, the budget.
Budget.
Whatever this thing is.
It's a $1 million
also.
thing.
With we need to approve the budget for the district.
I move that we approve the budget.
Thank you, Tim.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? We've had a presentation. We've had time for questions. Is there
Stellar,
any-
I might add. Stellar presentation.
Stellar presentation.
Yes.
So moved.
Okay, it has been moved. All of those in favor of approving the budget, would you please raise your right hand? Opposed, same sign. 7-0. Thank you very much. And thank you, Terry and Dr.
Yeah,
Stroh, for all your hard
definitely.
work in putting this together, because
Terry does a great job.
And I think that video did help.
Good.
So especially for being the first time, so thank you for doing that. Because it helps understand what
I
the
am a
buckets.
visual learner, so
That's
See,
right.
I am too. I am too. I just tell me it doesn't make any sense.
and these colored grass are spot on.
Brian likes the pictures. There you go.
Do we need executive session for negotiations?
We do not.
Okay, all right. So let's go on to approving personnel.
I move that we approve the personnel report.
Second.
Okay, it's been a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor of approving the personnel, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. 7-0. And are there any announcements, Dr. Stroh?
I do have some announcements. First of all, I'd like to introduce our new assistant principal at Ottawa High School, Brent Lane. Brent, welcome. Happy to have you here in Ottawa. And I'd also like to recognize all our principals. If you would stand, please. You guys, all of you, come on, come on, come on. Even if you're not wearing a blue shirt with tie. That would be.
Come on, Shannon, where's your blue shirt?
You know, I just want to say thank you to each one of you. I know the first 2 weeks back, well, last 2 weeks and then these next 2 weeks are very difficult for principals, and we're so fortunate to have each and every one of you here. I just appreciate the work that you do each and every day, and from 6 a.m. until who knows what time at night. So thank you, and I would just ask if board members have any additional comments to make.
I've been on boards where we haven't had extraordinary administrators, and those are unpleasant calls to get when you get so and so's being unfair, so and so's being unreasonable. It's such a relief to have you guys doing the jobs that we ask you to do, because I don't hear that now. I really don't, and that's really comforting to me. And I know also that you guys are, especially some of you, are doing a lot extra right now because of the bond issue, and I really appreciate that. I mean, that's something that really you're not paid for. You're just doing that because of your love of the community, and that's really noble. I appreciate that also.
Thank you, Bill. Anybody else?
I think you're all great. I've had some of you as teachers. But it's exciting. I'm glad to work with you guys while I'm on the board.
Yeah. And I think every one of you's had a positive impact on my kids and all the hundreds and hundreds that are out there. So I certainly appreciate it from my family. They've grown up, kind of, and not quite there, but you know. But there are lots of others that have followed in their footsteps, and we appreciate all that you do every day. It does help build our community for the future. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And with 4 of my family members in 5 of the buildings, and the other one that just transferred being the one, I have personal experience that you guys do a great job, and I appreciate everything you do.
Now my kids are out, so that my comment was not a suck-up thing. I'm just saying, I don't know, it sounded a little bit.
Well, if my kids are in here for disciplinary, we got problems. Okay.
No, it's a hard job to be
It
a
is.
principal, and I appreciate all the time and the effort and that you put into it. It's a tough job.
You all care about the kids, and it really shows. I mean, a profound concern for their future that you all put into what you do, and it really does show, and greatly appreciate it.
So
I do
thank
like
you.
the ties.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you all.
So tomorrow it's a yellow shirt with no, just thanks. In other announcements, Wednesday, the 12th, is the new teacher luncheon at Garfield Elementary. If you have reservations, don't forget, and I'll have another waiver notice for you. And it's also back to school night for Eugene Field, Garfield, and Lincoln. And we welcome back staff today. That was awesome. Great to see everybody back. School starts on Thursday. It's a half day. And next week, no city-county USD meeting. That's been canceled. And Friday, Friends and Family Band Concert at Ottawa High School at 6:30. Board retreat on the 22nd from 8 to 11, so make sure that's on your calendar, and that's all the announcements that I have.
I retweet things all the time. Madam President, I move we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. 7-0. We're done.